Hello and welcome to Simulation Formula 1. We're here at Austria for round 5 of the SF1 GP3 league race. So we're here in qualifying, we've got 10 minutes remaining, and with me today is my good friend and co-commentator, it's Pro Luca. How you doing?
Hello, hi, welcome, thank you. Thank you for inviting me back again. Looking forward to today. So, as you can see, guys, it's a wet qualifying session. Looks like it's going to be quite a thriller. Hopefully with a very close pack together.
Yeah, fingers crossed. We'll see just how close they are in just over 9 minutes' time. But at the moment, it's Allow Your Face topping the timing charts with Cardinal nipping at the heels. Phil, Wrathful, and your Robbie, your top 5 for the moment. But it's a damp. Well, it's getting to damp, but at the moment it's wet. It's Inter's wet. So anything really can happen. I think the track seems to be speeding up a bit. We can see a dry line or a drier line starting to form. But everyone knows the wet can throw up some really good racing and some good qualifying moments. So thoughts on this track in the wet, Luca?
Honestly, it must be challenging. Those traction zones, the hairpins, must be absolutely horrible, because I know for a fact how hard it is to get the power down in the dry, let alone the wet. But as you say, there is a slight dry line forming. I don't think it's going to form too much in this qualifying session. I can see it being it won't ever go to slicks in this session here with 8 minutes to go. But yeah.
Yeah, well, we'll see just how dry it gets and just how fast the times get. I don't know what we're going to be seeing from these guys today, because I myself haven't done too many quali runs in the wet, and especially not in intermediate conditions, but it's definitely going to be interesting. We might see some new drivers up at the top actually this time round, which would be really nice to see.
Yeah.
We might have some first time winners, and I know that the championship's quite tight at the top there. I mean, it's anyone's game at the moment. We are 5 rounds in, so I think a 17 or 18 round season. I may be wrong there, but
I believe it's an 18 round season.
18 rounds, wonderful, there we go. So it's anyone's game at the moment, but I think at the top at the moment, Lord Bumbledore with 104 odd points, I think it is.
108.
108, there you go. And with the Alfa Romeos nipping at his heels as well, but we'll go through that in the break between qualifying and the race. Watching Solex at the moment, who's on a lap trying to better his 1:13.1. So you've got to find about half a second, which sounds like a lot normally in qualifying, but you can find those sort of amounts of times quite easily in changing conditions like this.
Of course, it's the wet conditions is so tricky, because it shows who are the faster drivers and who the more skilled drivers and have a lot more control of the cars. But yeah, I completely agree with you. It's an interesting condition, the wet, isn't it? As Solex just jumps up to 4th on that lap there with a 13 head. So still,
yeah, he found
just over 3 tenths. Just over 3 tenths behind the leaders. As I say,
Nutmeg goes on pole
by 2 tenths.
Brilliant to see, but it's definitely showing that the track is really starting to come alive somewhat in comparison to the earlier stages, and I think we'll see the faster runners start to come out now in a couple minutes. They might leave it as late as possible to come out, but you know, track limits are quite tight around this track, and it's easy to get an invalid lap in the dry, let alone conditions where every lap is got more or less grip. So when you've got differing track conditions like this, you don't know what you're going to get, so it could be a bit of a risk just trying to do the one lap.
yeah. If it was me, I'd be sorry. I just decided I wanted to die for a second. But yeah, if it was me in this session here, I'd be wanting to, I think we're seeing quite a few people do longer runs, do more than one lap in one go, and to see if to see how they fare, to see what the track conditions are, get used to it, and then hopefully in the last couple of minutes we'll see people pit, go out and fresh rubber, and try and put a quick lap in.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what Phil is doing as we speak, as he comes across the line to start his flying lap. So how about we have a look on board with Phil, and we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, so on this lap he'll be going up the gears. He's just trying to find that toe from the McLaren. Going up the gears, getting ready to brake, on the brakes, making sure he's very careful not to lock up. Hits the apex and just very gentle, easing that throttle, probably short shifting up the gears. As we're going down the straight, there's no DRS because we are in the wet, but he will have going flat out up the gears, back down the gears now, just going ever so slightly too fast onto the apex. But yeah, looking nice clean lap other than that one mistake so far. He's going around the corner nice and tidy, goes slightly offline because in the wet you sometimes find a little bit more traction just offline. Going into the last sector now, just starting the last sector. This is the make or break sector here. How committed you want to be going through this sector. And yeah, it looks a nice clean lap, and he's going to now pull up to start finish line. Let's see where he gets to. That's his P2 for Phil. Nice clean lap there.
Yeah, only half a tenth in it, but a nice and tidy example of what can be done. I want to pull you up on something you said earlier. You said a dry line won't appear in this session, but that line looks awfully close to being dry enough to risk putting slicks on if you can keep it in the train tracks.
What do you reckon? That'd be an interesting.
Do
you reckon
I'd be
we're
risking
going to
that.
see anyone do that? I don't think there is anyone.
I don't know. I might be
fitted.
just chatting ruffle, but
We have got
yeah,
Solex in the pits who has got soft tyres on. Is he going to go out? No, he's just changed his tyres to the Inters.
No.
No, big change there. Thought better of his decision there.
Let's see what people have fitted it. So everyone's still got Inters fitted. Maybe I'm just seeing things, but it looks no spray coming off the cars when they're on that line.
There's a little bit, but there's not much. It'd be interesting as Phil just jumps up and improves his lap time. So before we start these final laps, we're just going to do a quick run through. So we got Phil in the lead, then we have Nutmeg in second, Allow Your Face third, Cardinal fourth, Solex fifth, Raffle sixth, Your Robbie in seventh, Johnson in eighth, but he has retired, I believe.
I believe you're correct.
Ninth is Robert, 10th is Bumbledore, 11th is Kimmy, 12th is Grimdog, 13th is Kenarito. I do apologise if I get his name wrong. 14th is Danberg, right, who's also retired from the session. 15th is Goomba, 16th is Gamerman, and Gunners is 17th. With Cypher Josh, who's been disqualified from the session, but I wonder if he'll be able to do the same as what he did last week, go from last to a podium. He does like to make it hard for himself, though. Lord Bumbledore out on soft tyres.
Well, there you go. Someone's risked it, so we'll see if it pays off. Because I don't know. I think he'll be risking it. Cardinal's put himself in P2 with a 12.3. People starting to close the gap and find that time now, but I think it might be the switch over just at the last minute, but we'll see. Everyone on track now.
Allow Your Face is just retired from the session.
Yeah, he thinks he's done what he can, unless
he's had a little accident somewhere, but I don't think so.
I don't think there's any yellow flags anywhere, so I think we're all right. But yeah, 26 seconds remaining of qualifying, and we'll see which drivers are coming round, and we'll try and see who's going to be topping the table today. It's Phil and Cardinal fighting at the top for the moment, but anything can happen. We've got some soft runners as well.
So we have Cardinal, who's just coming around the last corner now to finish his qualifying session. Is he going to jump up to first? No, he stays where he is in second with a 12.3. Nutmeg, who got the next person to come round? We have Solex, who jumps up to 6th. Then Phil, who does not improve on his time, so that's all he can do. So it's your Robbie and Nutmeg really in the top 10 that could do something. In my opinion.
Well, we'll just have to see. I'm struggling to find people to focus on at the moment because everyone's either pitting or pulling off a lap. But
Nutmeg's just coming into the last couple of corners now.
Yeah.
And is he going to
Nutmeg now as
better
he
his
comes into the
result as
final
the
corner.
Ferrari comes across? Does not improve. And Nutmeg does not improve
Nutmeg holds
either.
position.
Let's go to Lord Bumbledore and his soft tyres. I don't think he's looking that quick. He's struggling for grip. In my opinion.
Yeah, his lap's invalidated as well.
Oh,
so,
okay, that might be it.
He wasn't going for it, but he gave it a try at least.
Yeah.
I think it was worth a shot.
But
Another minute or so, and that would have been almost certainly a slick shot.
yeah, just to add saying a bit of a biased opinion here, but congratulations to Renault of your P2, P3. But yeah. So interesting
Well
qualifying
done,
session. That is
Yep,
everyone
Phil,
completed on
Cardinal, Nutmeg, Wrathful, Your Robbie, Solex, Allow Your Face, Robert, 22, SF1 Gumba, Kenarito, your top 10 for qualifying today. It's not bad stuff at all. It's nice and close at the top end there. If you look at that from, we've got two in the same tenth of each other, 4 in the same tenth. That's absolutely brilliant from first to sixth. Pretty much from first to 10th. It's really nice and close there. But from first to sixth, it's just 3 or 4 tenths between the lot of them. So
yeah,
this could throw up some really interesting racing.
actually a second up to 12th. I just saw within a second
that's
from
what
the
we wanna
fastest
see.
lap.
That's exactly what we want to see. So we're going into our break as we run through the list. I'll show you the list through to the end. So I know that some of the admins need to capture some screenshots or record this, but down through to the end. So I went through the top 10. From 10th downwards is Johnson, Bumbledore, Kimmy, Grimdog, Danberg, Gamerman, the Gunners, and Cypher Josh coming up at the back after a DSQ. I didn't see what it was for. It was in the earlier stages of quali, but yeah, unfortunate to see him at the back. We've got a 5-minute break for the drivers to limber up, get themselves a drink or a beer or a smoke or whatever they need. But I think I'll hand you over to Luca so he can run us through how the championship standings are looking for and how the constructors championship standings are looking.
Yeah, of course.
So Luca.
So I'm going to start with the drivers' championship and go from 20th to first. So at the moment we have a lone Goblin in 20th, but I believe he possibly might have left the league with work commitments. In 19th we have SF1 Johnston. In 18th we have SF1 Kimmy. 17th we have Gamerman. In 16th we have Gunners. 15th we have Nutmeg. 14th we have Robert. 13th we have Solex. 12th we have Johnny Sherbert. 11th we have Allow Yourself, and then we're going to head into the top 10. So we have Grimdog in 10th. 9th we have SF1 Danberg. 8th we have Kenarito. 7th we have Cypher Josh. 6th you have Your Robbie. 5th we have Cardinal. 4th we have Goomba, and in the top 3 is Wrathful on 93 points. Phil on 97 points, and Lord Bumbledore on 108 points. So yeah, and then we have the Constructors' Championship, which is a combined result of GP3, GP2 and GP1. So if you were enjoying this stream, guys, do not forget to tune in for GP2 and GP1. GP2 is on a Friday night, and GP1 is on a Sunday night. So guys, if you're free on these days, would love it if you guys could come and watch these events too. They're as exciting as GP3. So the Constructors' Championship. In 10th place, we have AlphaTauri. In 9th place, we have McLaren. 8th, we have Haas. 7th, we have Renault. In 6th, we have Racing Point. And in the top 5 is Red Bull on 352 points. Mercedes on 374. Williams on 381. Alfa Romeo on 391. And then in first place is Ferrari on 423. So that is how the standings are currently sat at the moment. Yeah, it's going to be an exciting race. Lucky, have you got any predictions? How long is going to be to the first safety car, do you reckon? That is my favourite prediction to do.
In minutes or seconds?
I'm going to say corners.
In corners? Well, I think if we're going to have a first lap safety car, it's going to be turn 2. I mean, turn 1's difficult to negotiate sometimes
On the
with
first lap
with a
especially.
big pack, but yeah, I think if anything, we've got some good drivers here, so if anything, it's going to be turn 2 that's going to catch them out with the heavy fuel loads and possibly a greasy surface after the qualifying session we've seen there, and we know how hard it is sometimes to get the traction down on the exit of that corner. So I think we might see one lap 1, but I'm hoping not.
Of course, we
can
always
head
hope
into
not.
a nice stable race.
But at the end of the day, it is GP3, and they do not do anything better than race hard with each other, as I've noticed in the past 3 weeks. And I absolutely
well, that's
love
why
it.
we've got the different GPs. It suits the different abilities, and
Exactly.
just because they're GP3 doesn't mean we don't get to see as great racing as we see in GP2 and GP1.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm just looking at the standings. You were saying about the constructors. It's looking really close between second down to 5th. After this race, that whole order could be completely mixed up. I mean, with a really decent race from Alfa Romeo, they could be jumping Ferrari just in one race. So the constructors is, although it looks like Ferrari are heading away and the tail are trailing, these next rounds could really spice things up because it's nice and close at the top there.
Yeah, I'm just reading through a few comments on the stream. We've had Clutchy, who is very much wants himself to be known that he is watching the stream today. Hello, Clutchy. And then I believe AFC SJC. It was in a dangerous place. I'm guessing that is when we were talking about Cypher Josh. Sorry, we'll keep more up to date during the race. But that I'm guessing that is why Cypher Josh was disqualified from the session.
I'd assume so, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we should be coming to the end of this break. I'm just going to get myself a quick drink.
No problemo. I'm just my phone's died, so I'm trying to sort out another stream to keep myself updated on all of you guys watching. We like to keep you guys involved, so if you are watching, get involved in the chat, and we'll keep an eye on things and get you guys involved as well. We've got the drive of the day and various other things we can be going through, but coming to the end now of the 5-minute break as everyone starts readying up as they sit on the grid for sometimes what feels like forever if you've got nothing to do in your break, but yeah, they'll be really ready and roaring to go. Some people get quite nervous. I mean, they can take it just as seriously as a normal race, so this will be really interesting to see as we head off for the formation lap of round 5 in Austria, GP3.
So, out of the top 10, give me your top 5 for the end of the race. Or out of the whole grid.
If it has to be people from the top 10?
No, I changed my mind. Out of the whole grid, because it is GP3.
Out of the whole grid. Well, I hope that the top 10 is unnamed Renault, and then I don't care about the rest. But
your realistic targets.
but to be non-biased, it would be nice to see Cypher Josh come up through the pack again. He did a brilliant job last time out. It would also be nice to see Goomba or Lord Bumbledore. He's at the back of the grid. We can see him making some big moves, very dominant at the beginning of this season. So it'd be nice to see that back. We know that Danberg can, he's got pace at times. Grimdog, we've seen him at the head of the field as well. So there's some people at the back that we could really see coming through. So I'd like to see Lord Bumbledore, Grimdog, and Cypher Josh at the top, of course. So I'll put them in my top 5, and then Cardinal and Nutmeg just to be biased.
Yes.
We've got a spinner at the back of the grid in the formation lap.
Oh, have we?
Yeah, I'm not sure
That
who
is
that is.
Lord Bumbledore, who's had a nice little spin.
It's Bumbledorian. Oh dear.
Yes.
That's
Yeah,
not gone well.
I'm very excited for the start of the race. I'm sure it's going to
We've got
be...
Goomba on the hards, I've just noticed, actually. Sorry to cut you up there. So Goomba starting in the middle of the pack in 9th on the hard tyres. The only person on track on the hard. We've got a few at the back sitting on mediums. Kenarita the furthest up on mediums. The rest of the pack going on softs. But that's very interesting to see what Goomba can do with a long run at the start. But here we go. Lining up, I'll take top 10, and Luke will take the back of the grid for the opening laps, just to make it a bit easier on our eyes. Here we go for Austria round 5. GP3. It's Phil at the head of the pack as we're waiting for the lights to even start their countdown, and my timing board has already decided that it doesn't know what's happening, but the lights are on and they're off. And we're going. It's Phil with a little bit of a dodgy start, and we've got Nutmeg coming up the inside, I believe that is, but he bails out of that, and we've got a bit of a dodgy start from the front there. I don't know what's going on. We have a bit of a glitchy car there. But Raffle holds his lead, and no, he doesn't. I don't know what's happened there. It's very strange. I think Nutmeg has taken the lead now with Phil and Raffle, and then Cardinal.
And Robert,
and there's an off there in the middle of the track.
Yeah, Robert just making a huge lunge there, and not paying off for him at all. It's a very interesting start there, exciting stuff. Other than that, Robert, there wasn't much that happened really at the start. It was quite a clean getaway for everybody. Yeah, but I'll let you carry on at the front of the field again.
Beautiful stuff. We'll jump back on board with the front runners. Nutmeg making a leg for it. We've opened up already a 2-second gap to Phil, who's behind. I don't know if he got damage from the whatever happened at the start of the race, because I didn't really understand what was going on, or we had a bit of a lag spike of some sort in the stream. But I think the game sorted itself back out again. No, it hasn't. I spoke too early. Now Solex is leading and Bumbledore's in second, apparently.
You got to love that.
So we'll wait to see what happens with that. But I think Lucas might be working okay. So, is your timing board working, Lucas?
No, it actually isn't. It's much like yours, which is it has now got Nutmeg in the lead, Phil in second, Cardinal in third, and I think there has been a spin for Raffle.
Yeah, I think something's happened there.
Yeah, something's happened big time, because he's just dropped. What my screen's telling me last, but he is clearly not last. He is clearly in third, so nothing has happened to Raffle. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah,
this is still confusing.
Still confusing. Everyone but Raffle's in the right order at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, well that makes sense, because Raffle's the person that's lagging out, so I think that correlates with what's going on. He's the only one that's out of sync, and he's the only one that's bouncing around like a popped helium balloon.
We have allow yourself pitting this lap, just trying to chase him. I think that possibly could be for a new wing.
Yep.
Yeah, there is a new wing going onto his car.
He's got Lord Bumbledore on his teammate Danberg up the inside. That was easily done with DRS. Almost leapt past there. Lord Bumbledore up into 8th, already making moves. That was a nice bit of passing there. And Cypher's done the same, and Goomba comes back.
But there's contact between Cypher and Goomba as they're coming out the corner onto the power. There was a bit of contact there, so Cypher Josh has now lost that position that he'd gained out of the corner.
Yeah, Cypher's not going to be happy with that at all.
No, you wouldn't be, would you? And we also have allow yourself.
Allow your face.
Allow your face. Looking up the inside of Johnson, side by side, going down to turn 3. And it's side by side, looking at each other, locking wheels. Still side by side. Johnson's hanging it round the outside of allow your face.
Oh, some nice driving.
That's some very nice driving there.
He's on the newer tyres and the softer tyres, but he showed him how to hold around the outside there, definitely. As he passes Gunners as well.
Yeah.
But I've just seen Nutmeg put another fastest lap in,
he's
and
extending
holding a nice
his gap by a
in
couple of tenths a lap.
2 seconds.
So a couple of tenths a lap he's doing at the moment, which is a nice, consistent thing he needs to be doing. It's looking like a great start. Not touch wood, no commentator's curse has been added there for the Renault driver. But winners and losers of this race so far, we have had the winner, the most improved got up so far is Kimi in 6th place. Then we also have Cypher Josh, who's gone up 6 places to 12th. And the biggest loser was actually Solex, or actually Robert, who had to pit. But Solex.
Well, I think Solex has just had a bit of an accident there, as he's lost some of this front wing and dropped back massively. And sure enough, he pits now. So I think something happened there for Solex. He was running up in 5th, I believe it was, but that's all come crashing down now.
I mean, whilst I'm talking, Nutmeg is just extending that gap a bit more with another fastest lap there.
Yeah, he's doing a surefire job of building that gap and doing exactly what he needs to do. I'm sure his team boss would be very happy.
Has Cardinal overtaken? I believe Raffle might have made a mistake, because he's now... Sorry, because it's a bit mixed up. He's now actually behind your Robbie.
No, Cardinals...
No, not
Cardinals
Cardinal. Raffle.
No, Raffle's still in front. He's still right behind Phil.
Okay, on one screen, Raffle's behind your Robbie.
Very interesting. So we're both getting 2 different races. So we're going to have to start splitting. We've got an alternate reality race going on.
Yeah. How interesting. I think a mixture of me and Raffle and I's Wi-Fi is not helping any situation at all. Because he obviously has bad Wi-Fi and I have bad Wi-Fi, so we're joining it as a team.
Yes, although I must say tonight your voice is sounding crisp. Very nice.
Thank you very much. No
I did
stutter.
have a listen earlier. No stutter at all. You sound sounds like an episode of Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey, thank you very much. I think that's your voice as well, Sebastian.
I don't know what you're on about.
Don't know what you're on about. But it's starting to space out a bit. There's not much really happening going on. Close to is 4.
3-second penalty for Phil, as he's trying to close up on Nutmeg there.
And is that also Cardinals now on the... No, it's 1.72. Okay, so it's an even gap between Phil, Cardinal, Nutmeg,
so
either side.
Yeah, it's very interesting. If anyone in the chats understands who's actually it is, but I want to know if Raffle's in 3rd or not, because I just don't know. So if anyone in the chat knows what's going on or has intel or communications with Raffle at all, it'd be great to tell us if he's actually in 3rd or not, or if I don't know. I don't know. You can't already have been a lap down on the first lap, so.
Got it. So on your screen, you have Raffle tucked up behind her.
Yeah, but he's not on the timing screen. He's in 18th, with 2 laps down on the timing screen.
Interesting.
But on Raffle attacking him, who's taken advantage of all of that. So he gained a place, and then straight away got it taken away from him by your Robbie.
This is it. seeing that as my race at all.
What? What are you seeing? The Cardinals just got back past Robbie now, sorry.
You're Robbie in the Cardinal. How interesting. How bizarre.
How bizarre.
It's so bizarre. As a Cardinal on my screen goes wide through the S's, I'm not sure if he did on your side.
He did, and now
to the
Robbie's
inside.
side by side with him.
And you're Robbie, they're going around the outside. Is that Cardinal lost the position? Beautiful move there for Robbie there to go right round the outside of Cardinals. Cardinal look, making a move and makes it. Will wait to exit the corner, but stick for the moment. He's just gone slightly wide. Your Robbie back up the inside. Your Robbie now should have DRS.
Why is no one using DRS?
No, they're going for old school racing. As Cardinal looks the inside, thinks better of it, and we're going to get more. Should have DRS, which he does. He opens that, not closing as much as I would have thought he was going to the slap. Your Robbie makes a little look up into the corner, but he's settled into third position on my screen now. As we've just missed all this, Nutmeg has lost position to Phil.
Oh dear, we got so caught up in the third place battle, we missed the first place battle.
Oh,
What's
was Nutmeg
happened there? Was that back market trouble?
Oh
no! Oh!
As Nutmeg spins from second place
Oh!
and loses a loss of wing there. How unfortunate there for Nutmeg his race.
I'm crying. I'm now crying.
There's a lump in my throat.
Not yet. No.
Wrong.
Ruin it.
Sorry. Wrong scenario. Wrong scenario. We'll wait to the end of the race for that one.
So Phil takes P1 there with some dramatic driving from Nutmeg. He's put himself in a bit of an awkward position with a loss of wing. That's going to set him back big time. Your Robbie, with some brilliant driving against Cardinal, has moved himself up into second now, so he's going to be happy with that as he touches the gravel on the outside. And Cardinal sitting in SF1 Kimi 5.5 seconds behind, but Lord Bumbledore knocking on his door just 3/10 behind him. As we're watching
another car off into the gravel. Who was that? Was that Nutmeg who decided to go into the gravel?
Johnson's left the session. I'm not sure.
Oh no, it was Johnson has gone off into the gravel. Has no front wing and is looking a bit sheepishly.
We've got a safety car.
Have we?
Which we haven't had yet, by the way. We haven't had a safety car, so it's all been nice and smooth sailing so far.
Yeah, no safety car at all. Interesting. Very interesting. As again, sector 3, we have a yellow flag. I'm going to guess that might be for Johnston. No? No,
He's in the pits now. Yeah, he's in the pits. I think he's in AI mode at the moment because I did see him leave the session just before he crashed. So that's interesting to see. Cardinal's actually losing a bit of time to Your Robbie now. Your Robbie is holding station really to Phil. So not much going on there, but Lord Bumbledore is looking frustrated behind Kimi as he's desperate to advance in his race.
Yeah, interestingly, Nutmeg has not actually pitted for a new front wing at the moment. I think he's going to possibly try and hold it out for a few more laps to see if he can make it onto those hard tyres to go to the end. Because I believe that's the strategy, isn't it? It's soft hard, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the best way to go, and I think, look, he's only got 2 or 3 laps
to go on.
He only had 2 or 3 laps after to get into the pits, so I don't think it's going to compromise him too much. If he went in early, then he was risking having to do
as we have
another
Lord
stop, and then
Bumbledore
he's tired day.
overtaking SF1 Kimi into the hairpin, and I'm sure Kimi now has DRS. As Kimi's now looking to the inside of Lord Bumbledore's turn 3, going down the inside. There's contact between Kimi and Bumbledore. They both stay on the track though. Don't think any damage was caused there, but Lord Bumbledore has now lost his position he had once gained to SF1 Kimi. But he is still all over the back.
That's going to annoy him.
Has just decided to go round the outside. Does he make it stick? He makes it stick beautifully round the outside of SF1
Into the pits
Kimi.
goes Kimi.
But that's because Kimi goes to the pits.
And Nutmeg receives a penalty for corner
I mean, I
cutting.
believe he's trying very hard to stay close enough to Lord Bumbledore. But, yes. We're a third of the way through the race. I'm just going to run through the penalties that we have so far. So we have Phil in the lead, who has a 3-second penalty. 3-second penalties in 4th and 5th. Tenerito has a 3-second. Cypher Josh has a 3-second. Gumba, Kimmy, Gamerman, Solex. Gumba and Kimmy both have 3 seconds. Gamerman has 6 seconds. And Solex has got 9 seconds of penalties, with Johnson also having a 6-second penalty. That is a penalties round here, because it is a needs a track to get penalties on, in my opinion. Becca wants a shout out, so shout out to Becca 313. You'll see him racing tomorrow again in a Renault in GP2. Hopefully, as he says, he'll be in a third position. As we have a car going very slowly.
Yeah, I think that's a back marker there.
No, it's Raffle who's glitching left, right, and centre in the pits. So he was stationary on the track. He was stationary facing the wrong way in the pits. But I believe now he's facing the right way and going on the track.
Well, that's incredibly interesting, but
yeah,
very
the
strange.
braking zone.
Yeah, your Robbie's closed that gap to Phil by a second now since we last looked at him. He was sitting around 4.2. He's now at 3.4. So he's doing the job that he needs to do. And Cardinal's holding on there. He's lost a bit of time, making a few mistakes, but he's holding on. See if we've got any racing towards the back of the grid as Grimdog passes Cypher
Josh, yeah.
That was a nice little move there as we see the Ferrari and the Mercedes battle it out for P8, and actually we've got Gumba behind them who's starting to close in.
Your Robbie's pitted for some fresh tyres. Sorry about that. Interrupted you abrupt there for no reason.
Phil and your Robbie. So Cardinal adopts the lead. Lord Bumblebee second for the moment, but Cardinal wanting to go a bit having to go a bit deeper there. Oh no, he doesn't have to actually, because Nutmeg's not in front of him anymore. So he's chosen to go a little bit deeper there on that strategy, and Nutmeg has stayed out as well. So let's hope that they don't time things wrong and double stack there, because that wouldn't be too good for their strategy.
To be fair, there is an 11-second gap, so that double stack is a possible thing to do. But I'm just noticing Danberg looking down the inside of Nutmeg, but Nutmeg late on the brakes. Is he going to hold it? Just about holds it for now, wide. But with his front wing struggling, I think we'll just let that go now. Hopefully he will be straight. He will start to come into the pits now for some new fresh tyres.
As into the pit comes Cardinal, and we'll see what Lord Bumbledore does. Lord Bumbledore stays out. He's on the medium.
Lord Bumbledore stays out.
So
Danberg stays out
as well.
And Nutmeg pits as well, so Nutmeg and Cardinal both pit at the same time.
This will be interesting.
So, fortunately,
Cardinal's already gone.
And
now we've got Nutmeg who's coming in. Are they ready? How much longer are they going to take?
Perfect.
A little bit of a stall. There you go. And
the front wing
so a little bit of a stall there. A front wing change. And a lot of work to do. Chosen the medium tyres to go to the end.
As on my screen, I have, although Raffle was dancing around the track with lag, it looked like he was holding up. My God, what's it? Phil? A little bit, possibly. Might just be my screen.
He's in front of Tenerito, so he's apparently in P3 still.
Oh, okay.
But he's still last on the timing board.
He's behind Tenerito on my screen.
No, he's behind him now.
Good Lord.
Yeah, well, very interesting. But back to the real racing, as Lord Bumbledore and Danberg, teammates, things seem to be going all right for them on the alternate strategy. The medium tyres going a little bit deeper, and heading the race for now. Got as close as they could to the leaders on the other strategy, almost in touching distance. So it'll be interesting to see how quickly the they come together after their pit stops.
Interestingly, actually, everybody has actually pitted for medium tyres. No one has actually gone into the hard tyres.
Yeah, that's
which was a bit unexpected in my opinion. I thought they'd all gone onto the hard tyres, but just noticed they've all stayed on mediums. So
yeah,
maybe
no,
they're thinking.
you and I both. I was not expecting the medium jump. I thought it was going to be a soft hard strategy.
No, yeah.
That's certainly what I've been practicing.
I think you might have to go back to the drawing boards there, Sebastian.
I think I might.
Guys, if you are enjoying our stream tonight, you can put a notification on notification when SF1 is streaming. We have GP2 tomorrow from 8:30 onwards, and we have GP1 on Sunday evening. So if you are feeling that there is nothing to do on Sunday evening and you just want to watch some Twitch or YouTube, search SF1 Simulation Formula 1 like you've done today and come give us a watch. But yeah, we are halfway through the race, and I'll give you a rundown. So in first place we have Lord Dumbledore, who's yet to pit. Phil in second, who has pitted. Danberg, who's just overtaken Phil, so second and third. And we have Henrito in fourth, who's yet to pit. Your Robbie in fifth, who's pitted. Cardinal in sixth, who's pitted. Seventh we have Grimdog, who hasn't. Cypher Josh in eighth. Goomba in ninth. Solex in 10th. Kimi in 11th, who has pitted. Allow Your Face in 12th, who hasn't. Nutmeg in 13th, who's had his fresh new wing put onto his car. In 13th place, Gamerman 14th. Robertson 15th. Johnson 16th. Gunners in 18th. On my screen, Raffle in 17th is Gunners, 18th is Raffle. But we know that's not the case at the moment. But yeah, that's
no, very true, and lots of fighting going on. Whilst we've been going through that for the top 5 spots, there massive battles, and actually Cardinal's starting to get involved in that as well. And I think there's a Ferrari starting to come through the pack as well. But yeah, all the way from Phil
Josh is going
to
down the inside of Grimdog. Contact again, and Cypher Josh has had a little spin. That was unfortunate, but he's rejoined horrendously, and with that ass collecting him as he was sat on the apex of the corner. I think that possibly might have been through frustration with that, but there was a slight bit of contact as he makes contact with Kimi again. Cypher Josh not having the best lap at all. Having another spin, second spin of the lap, second bit of contact on the lap, not his day today. As Lord Bumbledore...
No, not going so well.
Lord Bumbledore has pitted for the soft tyres. He's come out...
Cardinal's made his way past Kenarito.
Oh,
he's
missing
got
a
his
lot
sights set on your Robbie as well now. Who's having a look at Danberg round the outside into turn 3 or 4, can't remember which one. And he locks up a little bit, goes a little bit deep, but he's made the move and he gets up into second position past Danberg. Cardinal's going to be looking to try and get past there, but he's got Kenarito hot on his heels. Anyone close at the back there? Not too much. So some big gaps starting to form towards the back of the grid. We've got Goomba starting to make moves on Solex. But all of this sort of top 6, top 7 really coming together with some great driving and some great action right now.
As your Robbie sets the fastest lap of the race of a 107.1, it's been followed by getting a 3-second penalty. So all that driving hard has not paid off because he's just caused himself a 3-second penalty.
And here's Cardinal on Danberg.
Looking up the inside.
Down the inside. Can't get the throttle down early enough though. And gets stuck behind him again, but is he close enough for another move? He chooses the outside this time round and gets it done and dusted just before the braking point and moves him up into 3rd position behind Phil and your Robbie.
Yeah, so interesting the race so far. There is only 4 drivers on the grid. I don't actually know if Gamer Man and Robert have penalties, but there's only 4 drivers that I can see right now who have not got to, and that's Cardinal, Damberg, Others, and Raffle, in whatever position he is in.
Yeah.
And Robert as well.
We still don't know. Lord
yeah.
Bumbledore puts in a fastest
I
lap.
don't think we'll know till somebody tells us at the end of the race.
Yeah, and the problem is if he's in the top 3, I don't know if it's going to show afterwards in the final standings, and then I won't know whether to invite him in or not, and we won't know who's actually finished in the top 3.
I'm sure somebody will tell us by the end of the race.
Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah. So we are coming to the last 14 laps of the race. Interesting race so far. No, not been a safety car. This is the first race for GP3 that I've done, and there has not been a safety car.
Don't you jinx it, boy.
Wow. It could have a bit of excitement, mate, couldn't it?
It could, it could, but we don't want safety cars. We want some pure racing right to the end. See who's actually on it.
Yeah, exactly. As Solex just gains himself another 3-second penalty. But yeah, there's not really many battles going on. There's Game Man who's under a second. But I think that is the only person that is anywhere near close to anybody at the moment.
Yeah, there isn't really much going on down the grid at all.
Also, Nutmeg gains himself another second, and Gamer Man will in gravel ever so at DRS range. But we also
here's some excitement. Damberg's in the pits.
That's very exciting.
Thrilling stuff. It's a wing change.
Ooh.
Tyres on. It's showing me that he's put softs back on. But
He
I
has
think
put
that's
softs.
wrong.
I think he might have put softs back on.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, he was on mediums. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it was just showing up wrong anyway. Yep. So on to the softs, and he comes out. So just about the biggest thrill we're going to get at the moment. But Grimdog's starting to close up on Allow Your Face.
Just going to mention that, yeah.
Gumba doing the same.
I was also about to say that as well. You beat me by about half a second every single time.
There you go. Sorry, mate.
Guys, in the comments, let us know who you are cheering for today. Be interesting to see your
Vulcan
drivers.
goes, come on, AT. I don't know who AT is.
I'm not sure either. I'm sure Vulcan could tell us.
I don't know who
Alpha
it is.
Tauri. Alpha Tauri.
Alpha Dow, yeah.
There we go. I got it. Listen to that framework.
Yeah, you're so intelligent.
As the dyslexia comes out of you there.
It's Gumba's pits and comes out in P8. Nutmeg in 7th on the mediums. Kenarito looking to chase down Solex, Lord Bumbledore, and Cardinal. Your Robbie and Phil in top 3. 3 seconds separates your top 2, and another 3 seconds behind you'll find the yellow Renault of Cardinal. Lord Bumbledore is very close to the back of him though, and starting to close up that gap properly. Just 5/10 now separate the two of them.
But of course, Lord
feeling the
Bumbledore
pressure.
does have a penalty, whereas Cardinal is one of the very few drivers in this grid who hasn't got a penalty at the moment. As Lord Bumbledore in his slipstream with his DRS open up the inside. Cardinal not fighting back, but he knows different strategies. So slightly.
Yeah, and he's on much older tyres and much slower tyres anyway, so Lord Bumbledore has the upper hand for at least a couple more laps on the soft tyres, and he's going to chase down your Robbie, try and give them a little bit of bother as well. But Cardinal can try and stay close to the lead pack, as we'll have a quick look at the penalties on the board for you, if I can find where it is.
As your
That's the
Robbie
wrong
just gains
one, I think.
himself another 3 seconds whilst we're speaking of that.
There you go. So Phil on 3 seconds, the leader. There, your Robbie 6 seconds, and Lord Bumbledore 3 seconds as well. So if Cardinal can stay within 3 seconds of Lord Bumbledore, and Lord Bumbledore is in 3 seconds of your Robbie, then Cardinal could still take second. And of course, anything happened with Phil. at the front there. But Cardinal could also get some penalties. But that just gives you an idea of where things would stand if we cross the line now. Things can change across the line with penalties, of course.
SF1, I've
There's
just
your tyre
noticed,
straps.
as I said in the chat, rain, I wonder if it looms. I must say, just thinking of it whilst you said it, it is starting to look a little bit darker on the track. I don't quite know what the rain is looking like, whether we're expecting any, but it could be quite exciting if there's a little bit of rain to be added at the end here. Spice up the end of the race.
Definitely spruce things up. Definitely. That'd be brilliant to see. And the clouds are rolling in, you're very right there. But yeah, I'd like to see a wet end. That would be very interesting. It would be better than seeing a safety car end. Definitely.
Of course,
that would really mix the bowl. I'd like that a lot. Please, rain. Well, you got me all hyped now.
Sorry.
I want it to rain.
Blame SF1 roads. That's who I think.
Gumbo gets himself a 3-second penalty as the fight up front. It's not really going anywhere at all, to be honest.
Well, Lord Dumbledore is half the gap in 2 laps to your Robbie. It's gone from 3 seconds to 1.5. Cardinal's kind of losing the same amount as what Dumbledore's closing to Robbie. So that kind of gap is kind of settled at the moment. As long as I'd say there's not much happening. Robert is 3/10 behind Kimi, which is an interesting fight. As Robert's looking out into the first corner, up the inside, thinks better, but tucks back in, and hopefully try again up into the hairpin or leave it for turn 3. But yeah, it's a bit too far away. Close up a lot on those brakes there. But then you'll start to see I was about to say you start to see the gap extend, but Kimi gets a slightly
had a nosy around the outside. Almost ran into the back of it.
As Robert's now up inside of Kimi. That is a nice clean overtake, and I'm sure we'll see Robert just stretch his legs a bit now and pull a gap on him a bit.
Yep, next car's his teammate, 2.5 seconds up the road. So maybe he can gain a bit on him to take 12th position.
Sorry, just the butt in there. Nutmeg and Solex. Solex is now on the back with the RS going up to turn 2, the hairpin. He's already passed before they even get anywhere near the corner. But now possibly we're going to see a fight back now from Nutmeg. No, he gets slightly wrong on the exit. I think he's too far away to do anything.
He's on the older, harder tyres.
Harder tyres, indeed. So this is where we're going to start to see these drivers that are on those fresh, soft tyres start to make impacts, and the alternative strategy could pay dividends for them and turn into a good thing later on in this race. With 7 laps to go, we are in the closing stages of this race, and incredibly exciting. The gap, well, I'd say it's incredibly exciting. It's not the most exciting GP3 race I've ever watched, but having said that, it's still been a very good race. I don't really know what else to say about this race so far. It's just been it's been too clean for GP3.
It's been suspiciously clean, hasn't it? As Lord Bumbledore is really making inroads on your Robbies, now just 7/10 away, and we're going to watch this battle form and stir, and let's see some great racing for P2, and possibly a charge on Phil. If he can pass him quick enough, he could possibly make a charge on Phil for that first place position, or maybe Raffle as well. We don't know where he is, but yeah, interesting. I forgot about him. Yeah, Cardinal now being left in the dust, but Lord Bumbledore sniffing and getting very close to the tail end of that bull.
But do remember,
on the DRS.
Robbie does have the 6-second penalty.
He does have the 6 seconds.
Which could
potentially... And Cardinal's within that 6 seconds.
But let's stop being biased
Lord
for a second.
Dumbledore
And
wants to get past. And I think it's going to be done on the way up the hill, unless it gets a really good run out of the final corner. But it looks like your Robbie's actually starting to get held up by Wrathful ahead of him, by the looks of it.
Was Evan now not? So potentially Wrathful still in this race, actually in second place.
Possibly, yes, as the move's being made by Lord Bumbledore down the inside, down the main straight, but he didn't quite have enough speed there to get past. Because Robbie had DRS as well. So very interesting, but up the hill they go. Lord Bumbledore's going to be very annoyed at that DRS train there. And nothing could quite be done there. I think if he'd have just held on and tried to do it up the hill instead of down the main straight, he possibly would have had him there. But again, with a double DRS, it's hard to pass someone who's got DRS in front of you as well. It just makes it null and void. But a nice fight brewing for P2 and possibly for the win as well. Again, apologies to he hasn't really featured much because you're not really on the timing screen and we don't know where you are. But if you are still holding P2, congrats to Raffle so far. He's doing a brilliant job holding up the Red Bull behind him. So it could be Phil Raffle, your Robbie, but it could be Phil, your Robbie, Lord Bumbledore. We'll find out soon, hopefully, if the game sorts itself out.
As I see that DRS train now kicking in again. Not sure whether your Robbie really wants to look up the inside, but he does. He's looking at the inside of Lord Bumbledore. No, not Lord Bumbledore, Raffle. But again, back in the DRS train, are we going to see anything from your Robbie on the jumping, skipping Raffle?
Yeah, and this DRS
as he jumps
to make things really painful for both your Robbie and Lord Bumbledore.
Well, I'd love to if you know any experiences like this, where you've had to follow someone with bad Wi-Fi.
I've had too many experiences like this, I'm afraid.
As we have a yellow flag in section 3, which is now gone. I'm not sure what that's for. I think it might be from Gunners.
So frustrated there behind your Robbie. So frustrated. Don't pull out. Hold on. You can get him up the hill, buddy. Get a good run. Go for it.
We've had Gamer Man retire, and that's a virtual safety car. Virtual safety car. So that's going to bring a halt to this battle for second place.
It was just spicing up. It was just the spicing up.
So we might only just see the last 2 laps of action-packed racing to really, yeah.
Oh, it's only virtual safety car. So
only virtual drive-through penalty.
There we go. We're back to
for speeding under safety car. Back to racing again, and let's continue this battle with Lord Bumbledore and your Robbie.
Yeah, hopefully things can heat right back up again, because I was just getting into a bit of action. We'd been a little actionless for a while. Nutmeg's quite close to the back of Goomba as well, I must add. But yeah, we were missing the action for a little bit there. It went a little bit stale for a few laps, but we're hoping Lord Bumbledore and your Robbie is going to sort that out for us once more, as we see some really close racing and really hard racing in this GP3 round.
Just talking of this, Grim Dog, I think, might have had a spin at turn 2 and lost his front wing. Which
that's a lot of wing missing.
That is a lot of front wing missing. And I think it is actually all gone. But yeah, it's now missing. Spicing up between Lord Bumbledore and your Robbie again, as it's under a second. But then again, it's probably the same gap to Raffle in front, so it's still that DRS Prix. And we don't quite know what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. It's,
wow, that was a big jump.
That was
from one side of the track to the other that time. Interesting.
I didn't even see him. 4/10 between Lord Bumbledore and your Robbie, but it looks a lot closer between your Robbie and Wrathful. Here's the 3 of them. I think your Robbie's close enough this time to make something happen. Opens up the DRS. I'm sure he's on the overtake button as well. Engine to full. There is blue flags though, which is very interesting. If Raffle keeps getting blue
that's
flags.
because Raffle is supposedly 20 laps behind. As we are now very close, that must be at least less than a tenth from between all three of them here.
Yeah, and there's the move down the inside of Raffle.
Sorry.
A little bit deep. Oh, he's overcooked it, and he's going to lose 2 places there as Lord Bumbledore goes past him as well. So he just overcooked it, a little bit too eager. And they're now side by side down the hill, but that's going to put Lord Bumbledore up to where he wanted to be, and now he has to have a go and try and get past Wrathful, who's jumping about like a happy grasshopper or something like that. I think
a kangaroo, happy yeah. Grasshopper, anything really that you want to say that jumps, that is what Raffle is right now.
That is what Raffle is.
We have got 2 laps of this amazing race. Just notice, in this last lap, Cardinal was closed a 1 second gap to your Robbie, Lord Bumbledore. As your Robbie now pulling out again to have a look to see if he can get past Lord Bumbledore, but the DRS train says no. We are on.
DRS train says no. And here comes Lord Bumbledore with the DRS open, but he doesn't seem to be gaining too much. Can he get side by side? No. So I think a lot of overtake button being used there by Phil. Or Raffle, sorry.
Raffle.
Yeah.
The jumping springbok.
The jumping springbok.
As Lord Bumbledore, I think, is looking to the outside of Raffle, not making that work either.
Yes, I really got properly squeezed out by Raffle.
God, I would feel so on edge, sat behind Raffle right now. It's just back in such a high position.
This is doing a lot of good for Phil.
There we go. Lord Bumbledore looking up the inside of Raffle, though he's now not looking up the inside of Raffle.
Didn't quite get the run there. Not really a corner you want to be overtaking on either, but here we come across the line. And he couldn't quite make. And Cardinal moves up to 2nd position.
Which possibly, I think, is 3rd place of Lord of Raffle, who hasn't actually got a penalty on our screen.
So Raffle may have finished 1st.
Yes, he might have finished 1st.
He might have finished 1st.
Yeah. If please somebody,
but we don't really know.
Please tell us if Raffle has finished 1st, or whether he is.
Where did Raffle finish? Please tell us.
But yeah, so I'll run through them as they're finishing. So we have Phil, who's finished 1st, Cardinal in 2nd, Lord Bumbledore in 3rd, your Robbie in 4th, Kennerito in 5th, Goomba in 6th, 7th is Damberg, 8th is Face, 9th from Nutmeg. And 10th, we've got Cypher Josh just coming over the line. Robert comes across the line to overtake Cypher Josh, so that's 10th for Robert, 11th for Cypher Josh, 12th for Kimmy. Solex in 13th. Grimdog in 14th. Just need to press a button on my TV so it doesn't automatically turn off. Grimdog in 15th. Johnson in 16th. Grimdog in 14th, Johnson in 15th, 16th was Gunners, the non-finisher of Gamerman in 17th, and Raffle somewhere. I don't quite know what I saw, but I just. But Raffle somewhere on the grid he's finished. But on my screen, I just watched him drive into the back of a stationary car at the which is a bit bizarre. And I'm guessing you are inviting the winners over.
Well, I don't know who the winners are.
I think we invite what we can see on our screen, and then we will ask them the question.
I'm inviting all.
It's me, Cardinal, and Wrath.
Okay, nice.
Okay, cool.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much, Phil.
I was in a party with Wrath there, and he said Cardinal jumped him for 2nd, and he still got 3rd.
Cool.
Yeah, Raffle didn't get any penalties, did he?
No, it's saying apparently he did.
Yeah, he had a 3-second penalty.
Oh, well,
he
then
had a
Cardinal
3-second.
would have jumped him as
on
well.
our screen, he's 20 laps behind everybody else.
Yeah, he was on my screen as
Cardinal
well.
didn't get any penalties, so he would have jumped Raffle as well, would he?
Okay. Don't
No.
forget to add your mic onto us for us. I
Yeah,
think
please include
we
your
might have a
audio.
glitch in the system because, for some reason, Raffle hasn't actually finished the race yet.
Nice.
There we go.
No, he's still 21 laps down.
Yeah.
Carlos joined
So
us
we-
and said that there was an issue with McLaren's last week.
Got it.
Victor Game Code Masters.
Raffle, that was a very interesting Wi-Fi issue.
Not even Wi-Fi. That's the best part. Phone data.
Oh, what is it then?
So there you go, your podium dancing away there on the top step. That's I've never actually seen someone do that sort of dance on the podium, but
Well, we have got a bet where
Codemasters.
if I finish on the podium in real life this year, I am going to do that dance
Yes.
for everybody. But yes,
brilliant.
congratulations, guys, on your podiums today. I believe it was Phil with the win, Cardinal in second, and Raffle in third, I believe. Please correct me if you were wrong.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Brilliant. I hope you guys
Thank
have all added your mics. I'm going to pass it over to Lucky to give me the first to start off the interviews.
Beautiful stuff. We'll start in P3 with Raffle. Brilliant, brilliant drive. We didn't see masses of you through the first stages because, to be quite honest with you, we just didn't know what the hell was going on. The game didn't know what was going on, and we didn't know what was going on. So it was a little bit interesting to start there. But you managed to basically not move at all. You were a solid rock through that whole race, really. And I think it was just a penalty at the end that lost GP2. But yeah, talk us through your race, because you really you didn't move. You're pretty unpassable, and yeah, you did a great job.
Yeah, well, I was really hoping not to have a penalty going into the later stages, but my tires started just giving way a little bit, and I just had a little bit of an oversteer that gave me that last warning and penalty. So congratulations to Cardinal for keeping her clean. I didn't see much of him. I knew he was behind, but my tires were so faded at the end. I think it was on like 75, 78%. So the guys behind, I was just slowing them down, just trying to barely hold them. I barely held off Bumbledore for that last lap. So good on them. Good fight. Good on Cardinal to keep her clean and steal that P2. So yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of pressure on you there, especially. I think. Do you think if there wasn't a virtual safety car, you might?
I was praying for that. I was like, that's the air. I needed fuel. I needed ERS. I needed the breather for my tires. I needed that so badly.
I need everything.
I need everything.
Give me it all!
Oh, brilliant stuff. Well, absolutely brilliant drive, mate. It wasn't quite P2, but you secured P3.
Hey,
and,
double
yeah,
podium for
another
the
solid
team.
drive.
I'm content with a double podium for the team.
Exactly, I'm sure the team boss is
Thrilled.
pretty happy. So I'll pass Luca on over for P2.
P2. P2, we have SF1 Cardinal, not biased at all, but brilliant drive. It looks super clean. I think you were one of 3 drivers not to have had a penalty today, so
Awesome.
top effort for that. That's a brilliant effort. Yeah, so talk us through the start of your race, because it didn't look. It looked ever so slightly. You couldn't quite keep up with the rest of the pack.
Yeah, that's exactly what I had right from the start. Was I had Raffle's car dancing in front of me in 18th place, and that
20 laps behind.
yeah, and so it wasn't ghosted, but so I really didn't. I checked up and stayed behind it till it cleared up. I'm going to be honest with you. Once I got clear of that, then yeah, I mean it was a pretty standard race from there, just trying to catch up and back up with the leaders, and I just drove as hard as I could, as clean as I could, and just hope for the best. And then at the end, I could see the penalties, and I was trying to get that 6-second gap, because for a little while there, I could almost had first if I could have maintained that 6-second gap, but I couldn't do it. And yeah, so the penalty got me second, and it was a good, clean run, nice, clean racing. Congratulations to the podium guys. You all did brilliant jobs. And yeah, see you next week.
Yeah. Well. To be fair, did you think there was actually a shot at the podium with the 5 laps to go when you were sat 5 seconds behind guys in front of you?
At the beginning, I was really able to maintain, but my tires really started to fall away, and I had to start to conserve ERS if I was going to give it one last run to try to break into the penalty areas to get that P2. So I knew about 3 laps to go. That P2 was as good as I was going to do.
Congratulations on your P2. That's 2 podiums in 2 weeks. Well done, mate.
Thank you.
I'll pass back over to Lucky to do the winner.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. Thanks for that, Luca. Well done, Cardinal. Brilliant P2. Phil, on the race, you did pretty much everything right, and for the end of that race, you didn't particularly have too much to worry about. But we'll go back to the start. Nutmeg had from our screens had a brilliant start. Managed to get up into first and just pulled away. Was that were you generally just a bit slower or getting caught up, or
Yeah, well, that's my first hole. So my start was a wee bit rough. It was a wee bit spinny. Didn't really get the traction down, and then I got distracted I got blue flags straight away at the start. I didn't know what that was, and I think that kind of took my attention away. And then I stayed wide on the first corner. I didn't want to have any sort of contact with anybody, and then Nutmeg kind of took advantage of that and jumped up. And he had really good pace on the softs. He pitted quite early, so I assume his tyres went off because I managed to catch him by the end of the stint. And then I had a few good battles with people on the mediums, a few nice overtakes. Driving was nice and clean from everybody that I seen. It was really good, so I want to congratulate everyone on that, especially after last week with our 36 or whatever it was incidents that were posted in. So yeah, well done to everybody for keeping it clean, certainly the people that I seen. But I got pushed on with Wrath. He was quick behind me, and thankfully he was at my party to give me a shout out when he was on the inside, because his car was jumping about a wee bit. So as Cardinal seen, so he gave me a shout out, and he kept me updated on the gaps behind him for the guys, which helped, because obviously his car was gone and I didn't know if the gaps were real on the screen. So he just kept pushing me on with his pace, and that ultimately helped me win the race.
Well, congratulations to
team
you,
job
mate.
there.
Yeah, congratulations to Alpha.
Yeah.
That's your second win, isn't it now, Phil?
Yeah, 4 podiums, 2 wins. So
4
good start to the
podiums,
season.
2 wins. and a
Oh,
DNF.
all right. Sorry.
Nobody's
Don't
counting.
remember
well done.
asking. Jesus.
I'm very
Way to
impressed.
toot your own horn.
Yeah.
It's actually
Well, somebody's
full
got to do
podiums,
it.
mate.
Nobody's got to do it.
All you guys
for
are all
him.
patting him on the back. No one feels sorry for me that I'm his teammate. God damn.
Well, you've been consistent.
I mean,
That's
I'm not gonna lie, I feel sorry for everybody that was around you today.
I didn't know if it was
21
that
laps
bad.
behind
God damn.
everyone else.
Yeah. P3. It's all good.
Brilliant stuff. Well, thank you to all 3 of you. Put on a great show for us, and you're keeping the championship standings alive there. So great to see you all on the podium, and hopefully we'll see you guys on a podium in either next week or sometime in the season. So thank you to you 3, and thank you, Luca, for joining me in the comms box today, and thank you to all the viewers that we've had today. Remember that we have GP2 tomorrow and GP1 on Sunday, so if you did enjoy the content that you've seen today, then don't hesitate to jump online at 8:30 and give us a watch either tomorrow or next week, or whenever you decide. You can watch all the races back on Twitch and YouTube. We've got Facebook and various other Instagrams and Twitters and all that jazz. So please do follow us, like, subscribe, blah 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 blah. Good night. Have
And
a
come
good one.
and join
Thank
us
you very
tomorrow
much.
night at 8:30 again.